You don't need 50 skills to win online. You need 3. And I realized that almost nobody is mastering these skills. Right now, you're probably bouncing between courses, free PDFs, YouTube tutorials, and Twitter thread. You know, collecting skills, the way some people collect sneakers. I'm sorry, well, that's the way it is. SEO, funnels, AI tools, editing, branding, copywriting, analytics, sales psychology, content batching, Notion templates, like so many things that you're gathering. And somehow, with all of it, your bank account, your audience, and your confidence still are not moving. Now, I was doing exactly that, so jumping from one place to another. Now, you need to know that jumping around is not a discipline problem. It is a focus problem because the internet has tricked you into thinking that you need to be a polymath, you need to be multi-potentialist, when the people actually winning are obsessed with just 3 things and 3 things only. I spent more as a brand strategist watching creators and entrepreneurs build platforms that compound, and the ones who win are not the most talented, they are the most concentrated. They've identified the few skills that matter and they've stacked them deeper than the competition is willing to. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the only 3 skills that actually matter for winning online, right? Across creator economy, freelancing, business, personal brand. By the end of this video, your skill list will be shorter, but your results will significantly be bigger. So let's get right into it. Now, before I start with the list, I need to say something very important, but you can skip this part if you don't want to listen and go to the list, but it is important that I say this part. Now, this is what I think that your problem is. You think that you don't have enough skill, you haven't taken enough courses, you don't know enough tools, and you feel a constant low-grade panic that everyone else is learning faster, building faster, posting faster, and you, on the other hand, you are falling behind. Now, I need to tell you that that's not even your problem. It's not your problem at all. Now, your real problem is that you're confusing learning with progress. You think that buying a course is the same thing as moving forward, and you think that watching a tutorial is the same thing as building. You think saving a thread or information is the same thing as practicing. Now, it isn't. Most of what you're calling upskilling is actually procrastination, which you have actually cloned as productivity. You're not behind because you don't know enough. You're behind because you've spread your learning so thin that there is nothing that you've gotten that is deep, right? You are 1,000 inches wide, yet you are 1 inch tall. And the internet only pays for the people who are deep. The skill problem isn't that you have too few, is that you have too many that are shallow, that are the same shallow level. Now, mastery is all about concentration. The internet rewards depth, not range. And that only happens when you stop chasing shiny new skills and commit to compounding the few that actually matters. Now, it's the truth. I'm sorry that you may not like it, but it's the truth. Now, the standard advice that you're going to find in this space on the internet is the loudest and actually the most distracting. Every other day on your timeline, somebody is telling you the skill of the future, right? I've seen quite a couple of videos doing that. Last year, it was no code, and then it was prompt engineering, and then it was AI agents, and then it was faceless YouTube channel. And then at some point, it was ads, short form video, and then it was community video. I think presently it is community video. Now, every time you turn around, the algorithm is trying to sell you this new urgent thing that you need to learn, usually attached to a course launch, because everyone is trying to make money, of course. But let me tell you what they are not telling you. Most of the skills are tools, right? They are just tools. They are not actual skills. A tool is the software you use to do the work. A skill is the human capacity that makes the work valuable in the first place, right? Tools change every 2 years, 18 months, but skills compound for decades. If you keep mistaking tools for skills, you'll be stuck on the upgrade treadmill forever, right? Always learning, but never compounding. And I'm sure that you do not want to be there. And for us as African creators and entrepreneurs, especially, this trap is brutal for us, right? We often have less time, less margin, and more pressure than the average Western creator. And the cost of chasing every trending skill is that we never go deep enough in the field that would actually change our lives, right? We really need leverage, not breadth. We need depth in things that matter, in things that will not become obsolete next year. That is what we need, that depth. Now, underneath every successful creator, freelancer, founders, and every online operator that I have personally studied across every market and every industry, the same 3 skills keep showing up, not in their bios, but in their behavior. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what these 3 skills are. The first one is the skill of clear writing, because everything online is written first. You need to know this. Writing is not a content skill. It's the operating system of the entire internet. Even if you're a video creator, an audio creator, or a designer, a founder, a freelancer, whatever it is you're doing, your work begins with words, right? Your work begins with what? The hook of your video, the script of your podcast, the code email you are sending to a client, the pitch desk, the social media caption, the product description, the DM that lands the meeting, the proposal that closes the deal. Every piece of leverage you get online passes through a sentence first. So it all starts with writing. This is why writers who can shoot on camera still win, and why creators who can't write well plateau. They just plateau no matter how good their thumbnail is, no matter how good they can speak. Clear writing is the upstream skill. Everything downstream, I mean design, video, sales, branding, marketing, they get sharper or duller depending on how clearly you can think on the page, how clearly you can think with your words. Now, and clear writing is not about big vocabulary. I need to say that it is not about big vocabulary. It is not about literary prowess that you possess. It is about clarity of thoughts. Short sentences that hold one idea each. The right verb in the right place. A point made without 12 qualifying phrases. The discipline to say what you mean without hiding behind jargon. Now, if you can write a tight, vivid, persuasive paragraph, you can do almost anything else online, because every other format is a skin over the same skeleton. Do you get that? Look at Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, for instance. Look at how she has built influence. The novels, yes, we know the novels, but also the essays, the speeches, the interviews. The reason our work travels across continents is because the writing is unbelievably clear. She does not bury her arguments, right? She does not show off. She makes you see and feel the point in fewer words than most people would use. That clarity is the moat, is the best thing that you would ever need. The same is true for thinkers like Naval Ravikant. Short, sharp, image-rich sentences that survive every algorithm change because they were never about an algorithm in the first place, right? In your own work, this skill is the difference between a hook nobody clicks and a hook nobody can scroll past. Between a pitch nobody answers and a pitch that lands you a 6 month retainer, between a video that vanishes and a video that gets shared by people, that goes viral. Now, this is how you can apply this week, right? Practice this for 15 minutes every day, right? A day, every day. Pick something that you know well, write a 20-word explanation of it, and then go ahead to cut it into 100, and then go ahead to cut it into 50, and then go ahead and cut it into 20. The compression is the workout. Do this for 30 days, you're writing, and therefore everything else will get sharper than 90% of the people that you compete with. Now, I'll be sharing a very robust tutorial soon on content writing. I'm a content writer and I write for clients, and I'm good at my job. I write all my scripts for my video myself too, so subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that you can see it when it is posted. It's a very robust tutorial. It's very, very long, but it's very, very practical. The second is the skill of building trust at scale, because attention without trust is worthless. This is where it gets interesting, right? Every creator and operator online is fighting for attention, but very few is really fighting for trust. And that gap is exactly where the real money is, the real opportunity, the real long-time wins live. That's where it lives. Attention is cheap. You can buy it with shock, you can buy it with controversy, you can buy it with a viral hook and with a trending sound, but attention is rented. We all know this. It expires the moment the next dopamine hit comes along. Trust, on the other hand, is durable. Trust is what makes someone open your email even when the subject line is boring. Trust is what makes someone buy your $500 cost product without negotiating. Trust is what makes a brand pay you 10 times what they normally would pay any other creator, even with bigger number than you, because they know your audience actually listens to you. And another part that most people miss is that trust is a skill. It is not a personality trait. It can be deliberately built. The people who build trust as a skill, at a large scale, are doing specific things. Now, they're keeping their promises in public. They are being precise in what they claim. They show receipts. They are being consistent. They're consistent in tone over years. Being willing to disagree with their audience when it cost them. Admitting when they were wrong. Now, none of that happens by accident. It is a craft. It is craft, right? This is especially important in African markets where trust is the currency that travels fastest. Because of historical scams, predatory marketing, fake gurus, and digital products that don't deliver, audiences here are often more cautious than they appear. The creators who break through are the ones who quietly, patiently and consistently build a track record of not lying and an audience that can feel the difference. Look at how someone like Jason Joko has navigated decades of African tech and content. He has not exactly been the loudest, he has not been the flashiest. He has just been honest. He has shared his wins, but he has also written publicly about the losses, hard truths about doing business on the continent, and unpopular opinions of other founders you would probably never say loud. Now, that honesty has compounded trust over a decade, and that trust is now part of the leverage that he carries into every room. The market trusts him because he didn't perform, he didn't build trust by being everywhere, he built it by being reliable. The audience is silently keeping score. And since I'm being generous, I'm going to share with you how to apply this week. Make one small public promise this week, something that you do consistently for the next 30 days, probably a weekly post, a Friday newsletter, a monthly review. The size doesn't really matter, right? The keeping does. Each kept promise is like a deposit. Each broken one is a withdrawal. That account is your real brand. So ensure that you deposit money, right? The third skill is the skill of selling without selling, because nothing happens until something gets sold. This is the last skill, and it's the one that most people are afraid of, and it is my favorite. You can have the best content in the world, you can have the clearest writing and a community that trusts you, and still go broke if you cannot sell, right? Selling is not a dirty word. Selling is the moment when your work crosses the line from being a helpful product to being a paid-for product that you have. It is a bridge between expertise and income, and the people who refuse to learn selling, stay stuck no matter how good they get at everything else. Most creators avoid selling because they're afraid of looking salesy or looking testy. So they hide their offer in the bio and hope the audience finds them. They post 47 free piece of content and one nervous apologetic launch tweets or post, and then conclude that the audience won't pay. And that's not the audience problem, actually. That's a sales skill problem. Selling without selling is a specific craft. It means making your offer as clear and as visible as your free content, right? It means treating your sales communication with the same care as your educational content. It means understanding that asking for sale is not pressure. It is a service to the person who needs the outcome that your product is offering. The most respectful thing that you can do for someone who has been quietly following you for months is to clearly tell them how to work with you, because they need what you have. The trick is that people who do this best don't sound like salespeople. They sound like trusted older siblings showing you a door you didn't know existed, right? They use the same voice in their pitch as in their teaching. They tell the truth about what the offer is for, who the offer is for and who it isn't for. They do not manipulate. They just simply invite. That's selling without selling. Invitation. This is also where my NEV formula for storytelling becomes a sales tool, not just a content tool. Now, if you watch my previous video, my last video actually, you will understand the NEV formula very well. You understand it. So if you haven't, please watch the video. It's very important, especially if you want to learn using storytelling to build a brand and sell online. Now, like I said in that video, I said N is name the problem, enter the story, review the real problem, right? Visualize the transformation and extend the invitation. Every clean sale in any market follows that arc, whether it's a 30-second short, a 3-minute pitch, or a 30-minute webinar. You are not pushing the offer, right? You're walking the buyer from where they are to where they want to be and showing them the bridge. Look at how Mo Abudu, right? We probably know how Mo Abudu sells African content to global distributors. She doesn't go in pleading for shelf space. She simply tells the story of an underserved global audience, the gap in current programming, the economic upside, and the cultural moments. And then she introduces the offer. By the time the deal is on the table, the buyer has already worked themselves into wanting it. They have to want it. That's the craft. That's selling without selling, at the highest level, making them want something that would solve their problem, being clear about how you communicate it to them. Now, here's how to apply this way, because of course I'm being generous. Take your most recent offer, even if it's a service or a digital product or a paid newsletter, and write the way you talk about it using the NEV framework. Start by naming the wound, like I explained. Name the wound your buyer is feeling. Enter their story. Reveal what really is going on. Visualize where there could be, then extend invitation to them. Don't shout, just tell them the truth in that order. Then watch what happens. I'm telling you, it's really, really going to convert. Now, these are 3 skills. First one, clear writing. Second one, trust at scale. Third, selling without selling. That's it. Everything else online is a tool dressed up as a skill. Tools come and go. These 3 compounds for the rest of your career across every platform, every shift, every algorithm change, every economy. I'm telling you, you don't need to learn faster. You just need to learn deeper about this. The internet doesn't pay for the most informed person. It pays for the most concentrated one. Now, if this video gave you that permission to put down 30 things that you are currently occupying yourself with and pick up these 3 skills, please hit subscribe. I publish videos like this every week for creators and entrepreneurs ready to build careers, that actually compound. Now, if you want to watch the next layer, right, please watch out for the content I'll be posting next. Is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm going to teach you content writing at its finest. Next week, I'm going to post the video, and that's the first skill that I talked about in this video. I'm telling you, you're really, really going to love the tutorial. It's a full tutorial, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel so that we can reach more people and get the valuable things that I get to share on this channel. I get you to reach more people. Your commenting, subscribing, liking, and all of those things really, really help the channel. And I am grateful for them. And as always, I will see you in my next one. Bye.